Well, what's up, Highland? Here we are again. Got another episode. Things are really rolling off here. Got a special guest here today. We'll get to her in just a moment. But Jeff Wynot here. Just want to remind everyone to follow us on our YouTube page, What's Up Highland, like our Facebook page. We have a lot of cool interviews coming up over the next month. Next week is Mama's Rehab with Chrissy Nunez. I hope I didn't butcher your name, Chrissy, but you can clarify.
I don't know either.
Okay.
So
all right.
I'll let you do the butchering.
We did have the Highland Speedway on a few weeks ago. We had a contest. We want to maybe have our special guest. We have a very scientific way of drawing the winner. It's just cuts up piece of paper. So we do want to draw for the 2 all-inclusive pit passes to the Highland Speedway during the year, and then a What's Up Highland t-shirt. So special guest, Lisa, you want to
yes, Joe.
Test our scientific method here and see if it works?
It's going to work.
I think it'll work.
It's pretty bulletproof.
Okay.
One.
Who we got?
Does that say Christy Haber?
Christy Haberer, yes.
Terrible penmanship.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I know Christy, and we can get those to her.
Awesome.
Unless there's a different Christy Haber.
I don't. Is that you just know her? Okay, we're gonna hand that off to you then.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't need to get into details. So we like to start off the episodes with a tip from the health world and the financial world. I'll just go first. Be pretty brief. Most people are noticing that there's a lot of volatility in the stock market right now. The opportunities that arise with volatility can be plentiful. What I would mention is consider, and I say it often, consider looking at a Roth conversion while the market's down. You're essentially going to get a discount on the taxes that you owe and get that money into a Roth account and let it grow tax-free when the market comes back. So short and sweet.
All right, health-wise, I'm going to go with a conversation we've had with a couple people here, and it's about quantity of food. A lot of people think that they need to track their calories and track their food to make sure they don't overeat. The conversations we've had here this past week have been all about making sure you're eating enough. So tracking your food is important for, a lot of times for us is we're tracking to make sure people are eating enough. So if you don't eat enough, then you get stuck in what we like to call frustration zone, and you don't get the results that you're looking for. So that's a whole nother long topic, but at the end of the day, just make sure that if you are trying to watch your food and be better with your nutrition, make sure you're eating enough food.
And then don't overeat too, right?
Yeah, it's a real sweet spot.
Sure.
Makes things challenging.
All right.
So let's get to our guest.
Who's this?
Lisa Engelke.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
What's
How you doing?
What's up? Say hi to Highland, Lisa.
Hey, Highland, what's up?
Yeah, she's pretty shy. In case anyone doesn't know Lisa,
It's the first time I've said hi to Highland.
She's an introvert in very social settings, so we'll try and pull it out of you a little bit today.
All right, I'll try.
And Lisa owns or just started. How long's it been, Lisa?
Yeah, I just launched in November.
So
my company.
Timeless Tributes.
Yep, it's Timeless Tributes. It's online at timelesstributes.org. So really, I have 2 main services that I do. I preserve flowers and turn them into keepsakes. I brought some of my wares in today. And then I also make videos. So primarily life tribute videos that can be tied to a QR code. So it's narrated. It tells a life story for a person, and then it can be tied to a QR code, put on a headstone or a memorial bench. So really it's something that can be added even years after a person has passed, or it could be used during the funeral service. But
your business is specific to the passing of a loved one?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily specific to the passing of a loved one, but it's all about legacies. So really I consider it creative services that build legacies.
Okay, so how did you get into this? Let's backtrack a little bit before we get into too much of what it is, but how did you decide you wanted to start this? Where did that come from?
Yeah. So really I just started in the fall, so it's all pretty new. Unfortunately, I lost my mom. She passed pretty quickly 1 month after she was diagnosed with cancer. And I also lost my job right after that. So I kind of was dealt 2 lemons, if you will, from life. And so my sister said, I think you should do what you did for our mom's funeral, which was, it kind of started with a creative obituary. Like, I just wanted the entire service to be very special. And so I wrote the obituary was more like a life story versus just kind of fill in the blanks using a template. So it started with that, and then, creating, her obituary picture and the program that had, her shirt as the background. And it kind of grew into the video because I really wanted to say something at the service, but I didn't think I'd be able to hold it together. So I thought, well, I've made videos for a long time, so I could probably record my voice and get it exactly right and have everything the way I want it. And then I thought, well, I should have my brother and sister on it too. So it turned into a video that it's different than just the slideshow. It has some pictures rolling through, but it tells the life story in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
And it's narrated. So like I said, narrated by me, my brother, and my sister in the case of what we put together for my mom. And then it pulls in videos too, audio. So there's audio of my mom. She had recorded herself when I was in 1st grade because she went back to school. So she's telling a bedtime story.
You've got that on there. Yeah. Now that's pretty cool because I think we all can hear people from our past, saying something specific. That's a pretty neat add in there.
That is really cool. And so then you guys actually displayed this. You, instead of like maybe somebody coming up and reading at the service, you actually just played this. And
correct.
That's really cool.
As the obituary then.
Yeah. So the obituary, it started as kind of the script for the video. So however you want to do the video, it usually starts with a script. So if a family member is comfortable writing a script, that's wonderful. But otherwise, I interview the families. And, I want to get to know this loved one. You tell me about them. We start with a script that's going to be, 3 or 4 minutes long. And then you pull in video and pictures that go along with the words and what you're saying.
That's pretty neat. I mean, I think a lot of people when they're, put themselves in a spot to maybe read the obituary, not the obituary, but what's the inside the celebration? Is it the obituary, or not the obituary, but the
well, I don't know what you would call it.
It's whenever
it's usually
people come to say whatever, say
whatever
their words,
they want to say.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm blanking out. No, I mean, you get up and
just a life tribute or.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we just had to, my friend did it for another friend this past week and he did an amazing job, but I can imagine there's a lot of people that can't do that. Like,
or
actually,
think you can, and then you get up there and it's like, this isn't going to work.
I just didn't think I could actually do it.
So like, I would imagine there's got to be a lot of people that would love to have said something, but know that they couldn't have done it like in your shoes. So to be able to have it done a little bit ahead of time and, record it if you needed to redo it or whatever to get it just right.
Exactly.
Be super. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's a great, and your voice is pleasant too.
Well, thank you.
I think that just is soft on the ears.
Thank you. Well, I can record it, or family members can record it. Okay. I actually think it's even more special if it's done by the kids or whatever the case may be. But if people aren't comfortable with that, then I can do the voiceover. So I actually started in radio and TV. That's my background.
Sweet. No wonder you got such a nice voice.
All right.
Thank you.
So on your preservation of flowers, to get away from the, the funeral part, a husband maybe, buys his wife or a significant other of whoever buys and they last a long time. And maybe that really impacted, they could preserve those flowers into something that you've got here. And you can remind your spouse or your partner forever, like, look, I did get you flowers.
And I
don't
kept
forget
them forever.
that one time.
Isn't that thoughtful? You're keeping it for spite.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Hey, I'm all for it. I like that. We can market spite. That's good.
This might actually be the way. I've never bought Deanna flowers because I don't like the fact that they're just going to die, and it's just I can't.
One and done, Jeff.
Yeah, now I maybe
regift it every year, year after year.
It sets you up for perpetual gifts. is what it does.
You're a genius. You just
Right?
saved a lot of men here.
See?
Yeah.
So now I can get them one time, and then I can preserve them
year.
forever.
Each year.
Stop. We can't just.
You
can
can
make-
have,
we
there's
can
too
make
many
her an
people.
ornament.
You can't have
50
50 of these over
yeah.
the course of
One.
marriage. Yeah.
One.
Why not an ornament every year to commemorate that one time you got her flowers?
All right.
That's a pretty good idea.
Kind
Hopefully-
of vain. It's kind of vain. It's all about.
You kind of took it in a different direction there. But
Okay. So, how do you get your, as a new business owner, how do you get the word out to people about yourself? I think there's great value here.
Well, thank you. Well, I mean, I think it's a work in progress, So coming on this show, I love what you guys are doing. So I'm trying to do networking. I joined the chamber recently, so I'm going to be working on a ribbon cutting and, showing off my stuff, inviting everybody in. I'm doing also, Clinton County has a nice networking luncheon that they do at Turf. It's once a month. So yesterday I actually presented to them. We have a little, presentation to other business owners. So I'm starting with that kind of thing. And then, of course, starting to look into Google ads and improving my website so that it's, going to pop up better for keywords and things like that. Work in progress.
For more local, like is your plan to, be an offering with like one of the funeral homes in town where you're already positioned, with them that you can provide this other service rather than what maybe they offer? Right.
And that would be great too. So I do have displays with both of the funeral homes here in town. So I appreciate them. I went and talked to Jay and talked to Jim and they are kind of showcasing my things. So that is available to people when they go through the process here in Highland. I have gone to other towns, surrounding towns a little bit, and I've dropped off brochures at florists because especially on the wedding side, they get this question a lot, like, what am I going to do with my wedding flowers? And I couldn't find anybody locally that did this. I know when my mom had passed, I wanted to do something with the flowers because you get a lot, whether it's a funeral or, at a wedding, there's just a lot of flowers and you do feel like, well, these are special and I should do something with them.
Yeah.
So
What avenue do you feel like is the best one for you or your favorite avenue? It doesn't, maybe not necessarily best, but which one do you think you'll enjoy the most? Like working with brides or funerals or where do you see like your specialty being the best or your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, I think they can both be really special and meaningful. So far, honestly, it's been mostly funerals, but we're coming up to the wedding season, so hopefully kind of get into the wedding scene a little bit more. I just feel like hopefully I'm helping them get through a difficult time with funerals, And then on the other side with weddings, it's just remembering, a great day and preserving that. And I know we talked a little bit, we made fun of it, but I actually do think anytime you have flowers, if you're giving or receiving flowers, there was a reason, it's something special.
Yeah.
So this example with the picture frame. So that thought is, well, if you get flowers when you have a baby, then you save those, turn it into a picture frame, baby's first ornament, it's anytime really, like graduation, people would give flowers or a dance recital even. It'd be cool to save them and then turn them into like a picture frame and you put the graduation picture in there, so.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of
I assume the ones back there, is that more of like a wedding one that you got?
Yeah, so these are wedding ones.
If you want to grab that, show that. So that's a different way to preserve them too. Where they actually kind of look just like they did before versus having to be in
petals
something.
In something. Yeah, so this is an example where the flowers, everything first has to be dried. So I dry the flowers and then these are dipped in resin. So they're kind of crystallized and kind of hard. And then, you can make any kind of display, but like this one, I hand painted the last name and kind of just arranged the flowers on there.
I personally like this one because it's blocking me right now. So
I'm a big fan.
There's a lot of people coming on right now just because I just
we can probably block Jeff too.
Yeah, that'd probably be better.
This is pretty good right
Problem
here.
is I don't have a radio voice, so don't know if I have a video face either, though.
You gotta use all your attributes, Jeff.
I don't know what I have.
All good. Yeah.
I got told that last night again. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, you got the radio voice. Everybody talks
have a
about,
good
man,
radio
Joe's got
voice."
such a good voice. I'm like, what about me?
I agree. I think you have a
also
great
have a
voice,
voice.
Jeff. Not to
I have a voice.
deviate from what Lisa's doing here, but like we can save that for another episode. But I think your voice is pleasant as well.
So pleasant.
Mine?
Yeah.
I think you have a pleasant voice.
Whatever.
nice.
Stop trying to flatter me. I'll wait for the first random person to
I'm
tell me
making
that.
up for all the people that haven't acknowledged that you're sitting here and you do.
So it's
anyway,
okay. I can handle
Back
it.
to our guests.
It's all
here.
good.
So, well, like I said, these are really cool. I'm like actually kind of new to the concept, but this has actually helped me visualize it a lot more. And then actually just personally going through a funeral a week ago, like it
Yeah.
makes total sense to me why somebody would do this and how it would make the experience like that much better.
The eulogy.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the word we were looking for
Eulogy.
earlier. And that
Yeah,
would-
there you
Right.
go.
yeah, I think that's what we were looking for. But, even I think for someone that even may want to do it and they can capture it, at least they can sit back with everyone else and embrace that moment too. Because when you're away from,
Right.
like, you're the one that's up there, you're talking to everyone. I haven't done it yet, but I feel like that would maybe be a really attractive offering to be able to sit with your family and watch that instead of being the one that's delivering the message. So
Yeah, exactly. Because there's anxiety just with that on its own, in addition to everything you're trying to deal with.
Well, and tying the video and audio all together too, like being able to say the right words when the right picture pops up.
yes.
Yeah.
All becomes not just audio, but it's actual visually and audio
Yeah.
all together at one time. Seems
It,
really cool.
It
Yeah, I
definitely
like it.
tells the story, And I think too, like it's great for funeral services. What I've found is I think for some people that seems daunting, like to get it done in a short period of time. So you can do it years after too. Like I would encourage people, because I'm doing one for my grandparents. I mean, they've been gone for a long time, but I started to realize that even though they were super important to me, my son never met them, right? They've been gone. So I don't want their stories to be lost. And I realized that, he's probably not going to tell his kids about my grandparents because he never met them,
Yeah.
So we're all, no matter how dynamic we are, unless we're famous, we're probably just a generation or two from kind of, things being lost. And if you put it on a QR code like that, it'll last forever, and I'm fortunate. I have a little bit of video of my grandparents too, that like I've always been sentimental, I guess. So I got some video back in the day, I have
Your big
from the
recorder.
90s. Yep.
Carried it on your shoulder.
I did.
So someone will bring that stuff to you and you will integrate it into whatever offering that they're, I think
Right.
that's big time.
It's really pure gold, to be honest. Like, and I'm fortunate that I had a YouTube channel where I just kind of stored a bunch of this kind of stuff that I had taken, because I had a huge hard drive crash like in, 2018, and I would have lost like all of these, which I think it's gold, like you said with the voice, like to see my grandma and hear her voice, and she died suddenly too. So it's like, I didn't know at the time that was going to be like really special to me.
I'm reflecting right now on some of
Right.
them things as you're speaking, and I think it'd be cool to it definitely adds to the element. So good thinking on.
Do you have like some of your examples, or like the one with your mom? Is that available for people to see and get a preview of like what you can do?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So is that on your website,
They're
or-
on my website. So that's timelesstributes.org.
Okay.
And then I have a Facebook page as well.
And we'll try to make sure we put that link in the comments.
Yeah, that'd
of
be
the video.
great. I appreciate it. And if I scan that, it pops right up and plays the video. So
Are your from like a business structure? Are these packages? Are these one-offs? I mean, how do you work with people?
yeah, it's a good question. I guess I would consider them one-offs. Like every item that we have in front of us, if you go to my website, there's a ton of things on there. You can just buy them, right? So there's specific ornaments and there's different costs if it includes a picture or not, that kind of thing. So you can definitely just buy a few things. The videos are a little bit different because there can be a ton of work involved or maybe not as much, right? I would say, on average, it's maybe going to be around $500 for making the video. Now, if I do digitize like old videos and things like that, so if there's a lot of additional works, it's going to be a little bit more. And then there's a cost for the actual porcelain plaque. I get these from a different company because they kiln dry them and they're weatherproof. They have a lifetime guarantee to be weatherproof.
So that's what you would put like on a tombstone that will last forever.
Right.
Okay.
So they give you like an industrial strength kind of double stick tape, and then they give you silicone that you put around it. And it's got a little instructional kit. But yeah, they guarantee it for a lifetime.
So let me get this clear. That would go on a stone, and then when you scan let's say my grandmother passed away, and that's on there. I scan the QR code. The video, is that the video that
the video just
I can
pops
kind of
up.
stand there and remember while I'm there on the spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's super cool.
I'd even go one step further. I think you should pull out some of them, them phrases from that loved one, and like maybe watch your attitude, and you can hit that QR code and be like, get off of my gravesite.
Great idea. Joe's an idea guy, This is good. I'm glad we're recording this so I can refer to it later.
Yeah, all these wonderful
So many
ideas.
avenues.
You're killing the grass. Move.
You know
Get off
what?
my lawn.
Some people would like that. That's actually pretty funny.
Man, I might do that before I die.
triggered, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Like market to the people that are alive. Like
Yeah.
What do you want on your tombstone?
Exactly.
that's hilarious. That's actually not a bad.
it's
As
not
funny
bad.
as it is, it's pretty like.
Some people would
preemptive.
really like that,
Yeah, to say
I
I'm probably
would.
in that market.
I actually like the idea. But,
That's great.
I mean, targeting
Star was
people.
born.
Yeah, exactly. Beyond that, people that are, you said targeting people that are still alive. I mean, I would really like to do like legacy building too. So it's almost lucky that I kind of had some of this stuff, right? Like that I had a recording of my mom from, 1985, right? Like that's just kind of lucky. But I think it's valuable for people to think about it and to interview their loved ones, not when they're on hospice, but now, when they're telling stories, and these are the people you love, and it's important to capture it.
Yeah.
I mean, and for times where people are a little younger and they have an unfortunate illness, and maybe they have a little bit of time, this would be a perfect thing to capture some things maybe for your kids when they get older, and which we've seen videos like that in the past, but you can offer that service where someone doesn't have to do it on their own. I mean, that seems like a pretty solid endless gift.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can go with it, but it's I think it's pretty special.
Yeah. I mean, is there anything else that we're missing that we didn't cover today that you'd like to make sure everybody knows about?
Well, I mean, I appreciate being on here, and the website has tons of stuff. So it's, again, timelesstributes.org. There's a lot of gift giving possibility here. We talked about it, but I've done a lot of different things. I guess over the years, I feel like maybe it's kind of built up to this. Like when I started putting the business together, it's like, I've kind of done this my whole life, like with special pictures, like, making photo displays for people as gifts. And when my niece was born, I actually recorded all the family members' voices reading stories. So she's 22 now. So a lot of people are gone that read those stories. And I had put together, it was a CD back in the day, but it's people's voices. You could videotape them reading children's stories, and it's a compilation. And then when you have that, now, like I said, there are probably 5 or 6 people on that are no longer with us. And it's pretty special to have it now.
So someone needs to call you and get a consult. Maybe they don't know what they want. They they want to call you and get, kind of share their story, and you can consult with them, I'm assuming, and kind of point them in a direction that, with your creativity of what would be beneficial for them.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, I'd love to sit down with people, and I'm sure we could come through a lot of ideas together.
Yeah, well, awesome. Thank you, Lisa, for coming on and sharing everything with the Timeless Tributes.
Thank you.
Lisa,
Appreciate it, guys.
Best of luck to you, new business owner and all.
Yeah, thank you.
Exciting.